You're gonna want to do that in your beautiful new studio.
Yes, I'm working on the beautiful new studio. Mic check. Mic check, 1, 2. What's up? What's up? Okay. So here we are. I guess this is like my first actual blog post. Let's do this thing now that we're actually here. I feel like I don't really know what to say. I don't have a plan. It's like I've thought about it a bunch, but the execution has been lacking. And so we're just gonna riff. I guess yeah, my thoughts are unordered and chaotic. There's just been a little bit too much thinking and not enough execution. But that's okay, we're gonna charge forth anyways. It's a nice day. I still feel awkward. I guess I'll feel awkward for a minute because we're out here in public, even though it's the park. Still feel just kind of awkward speaking in public and making a plan, but I'm sure I'll rapidly get over that. Yes. Now we've moved to the Netherlands. This is the area of our sublet that we're staying in. It's very pretty. It's very pretty nice park area. Sort of in the suburbs of The Hague, and well, just very much enjoying this weather. It's a nice day. It's chilly. It's gotten kind of chilly here today. All of a sudden, it was a beautiful sun, and just trying to figure out what to do next with my life, with my career. I've been a cellist, I've been a composer, I've been a music director. I've always been fascinated with making content, but it just hasn't arrived yet, the content creation. Sorry, ducks. Just wanted to scare these ducks for a second. Yeah, so it's like, what do we actually talk about? That's a really good question. I feel like when I'm in conversation, it's not a big deal to think of what to say and what to talk about. But now, yeah, major questions. I guess my only real plan would be to just talk about what I'm thinking about and what I'm going through, and try to drop the filter. There's so much filtering of what I say. I guess I generally don't actually speak on social media. Do a lot of lurking. And I've struggled with figuring out, providing value, what's actually going to be valuable to people. Devolving into conspiracy or giving advice. Yeah, thinking a lot about music and the nature of music, the business of music, and where that's all headed, and then also thinking about the occult. See, and I think that's the problem. Some people just walk by, and I sort of froze up. It's like I don't want to expose myself, and maybe I can come to grips with ways to combat that, and not really worry about what people think, because I guess that's become a major issue. Like, what do people think about what I'm doing and what I'm saying and the kind of stuff that I'm putting out? Like, does it really even matter? I don't have an audience. I don't have anybody paying attention. So there's not really any concern. The content can be just absolute garbage for a while, and then I'm at peace with that. Because I do have something to say. I do have lots of thoughts about this world and what we're going through, what I'm going through, and that sort of nexus of what's going on in the world, and how that's reflected in my own life, and these deep echoes, these waves. And I guess that's something that I do want to explore more, the connection between us all, how we reflect each other, how these waves ripple out and affect each other, because we really are all connected in this world. It's something that we are. Yeah, I think I would have to find a way. Maybe I can just pretend I'm on the phone and like I'm talking to somebody on the phone. That's one idea. But the masking of my intentions has, I think, become problematic. And so part of that would be to just stand up proud and not worry about what people are looking at me or what they're saying, because I think that's how you do end up saying something about this world, how you can truly express yourself without worrying about what people think. Because I think that's been the problem with my music as well, is worrying about, but are people going to like this mix? Do they like this version of me or this other version of me? It's sort of like, who cares in the end, right? Once we get further down the track, even at this point, it's like, do I really care what people think? As long as my intention was firm in what I'm creating, then what does it matter what other people think, right? I think if I can actually get myself to that place and express myself honestly, the people can think whatever they want. It doesn't really matter. It's more this like stiff, controlled, worried, sort of sweaty version, constantly second guessing. That's what's caused sort of a bottleneck in my soul. And I think we need to just get away from that. I think we really just need to get away from that. And it's going to take some time. I see that. It's going to take some time to unwind my fears. But in the end, I don't really think it, like deep down in my core, that I'm a fearful person. I think a lot of that's been layered on through conditioning, and part of that would be to break through that and not worry so much about what people are saying and what they're thinking about what I'm doing. Because in the end, that's my business. And but I guess everything on the internet has turned into some like this controversy and rage bait and frustration. And I guess, I've fallen into that as well. I have a lot of frustrations about the way the world's going, the way my life is, but that's something I think about a lot, is how that keeps you trapped, that keeps you in a lower frequency when you're stuck raging out about people or things, especially stuff that you have no control over, like politics, right? That's what most of the news is. It's like, oh, here's this terrible thing that happened, and here's this really frustrating thing that a leader did, and doesn't that make you mad? And I'm so bored of that, and I've tried, I guess, in recent times to step out of that, to get out of that matrix of like fear and control, because the fear is really what controls you. what leads you to inaction or making bad decisions. And I would be excited to, I am excited to do what I can to break free of that control mechanism of fear and just stand up proud and be who I am and not worry so much about what people are saying or what people are thinking. It's just tricky because that's what most of the internet has become. And what can you do? I worry about making content, so making it good and all the time it would take to edit it and make it beautiful and snappy the way the big channels are. But maybe at first I just don't need to worry about that. Maybe at first I just need to create. And it's a beautiful world. We can see the leaves falling. Winter is coming for this year. And focus a little bit more on the beauty and the wildly intelligent design that runs this world, even with all the suffering and pain and discomfort, and just not worry so much about it. It's like, who cares if people see that I'm filming my blog out here? Who cares? Maybe I can talk to them. Maybe we can have a conversation. That's something I've thought a bunch about too, especially being in this foreign land is just being on the street and talking to people. I think that's why I got the setup where I have two mics, because I could give somebody the other mic and have a conversation with them. I think that would be fun. That would be interesting to get to know people all over. I don't know why I started watching these like travel channels and fascinated by the inhibition of one of the guys who just goes out into random places that he's not familiar with and just talks to the strangest, randomest people. And the through line is that the people are kind. They're good. The people that he talks to, and I think that would be exciting. I think that would bring me out of my shell a little bit to be talking to strangers. And who knows? Who knows where it would lead? Who knows where it would lead? It would maybe someplace fun, maybe nowhere. But at least it would be a form of expression. At least it would be creativity. It would be my experience and nobody else's. And I think in all of my art, that's sort of the point. That's storytelling. And what better story do you know than your own story? And I'm hoping for this random place that nobody's really watching, that a collection of stories would come together that are actually interesting and could benefit other people from watching. I'm always excited to turn over a new chapter, and I guess no matter where you are and what you're doing, you're always turning over new chapters. You're always reinventing yourself while inevitably recursing onto your own patterns and habits. But one thing you can do to break free of that is to be aware of those patterns and habits and not let them control you. Notice when you're repeating yourself or repeating a loop and just sort of kindly, lovingly say to yourself, hey, do you see that? You're doing it again. You're doing that thing again that you said you don't like, but you're doing it again and again. So maybe you like it. And I think that's something I'm trying really to heal from is the love of pain, the love of suffering, the love of failure. So easy to fall into. And again, I don't think that's actually who I am. I think it's just a pattern that's been set up, and I want to bring back in the love and the appreciation and the peace that comes from believing in yourself and knowing that what you're doing is right, even if it's wrong, because that's who you are, that's what you're doing. And even if it's ridiculous and terrible and kind of cringe, that's also kind of beautiful. And I really think it would have an upwards effect if I was able to just embrace that fully. Getting it wrong. Let's embrace getting it wrong so we can try again, right? How many times do you have to fail to get to what you're searching for? And how many times have I stopped, on the 9th try when the 10th was going to be the real success? I think that follow through is definitely something I've struggled with, and maybe that can change. Maybe that can flip over. So maybe it just starts with this. Maybe. Enough maybes though, right? Let's test. Let's run a test. Let's see how this feels. If it's lame, then there you go. And if it's not, then we continue. We iterate. Even if it's lame, we try something else. But I guess that's what I'm talking about. The pain point, the embarrassment that makes you give up before you really saw how it was going to play out. How many times have I done that? How many times do people do that, where it gets uncomfortable and you just sort of give up? And how do you know, right? How do you know when to cut your losses, and how do you know when to just continue the pain? I think conviction is critical there. And having a plan is critical. So even though I'm launching into this with no plan, no script, no real concrete ideas, I like to think through the experimentation that a plan would arrive and my confidence would rise. And I can feel it happening already. Just giving it a shot out here. Let's just see what happens.